In this foil drive technique video, I'm going to explain how to take off using foil drive with a small negative volume prone board. I'm going to play this first clip through in its entirety at normal speed, and then I'm going to play the same clip again, but this time I'll be pausing it and playing sections in slow-mo to take you through essential technique tips. So the first thing I want to point out, if I pause it here, keep your eyes on my shoulders and upper body. As I start to accelerate, I pull myself up towards the front of the board. That's to keep the nose of the board down. As the motor is creating lift, trying to push the nose up, you have to counteract that lift to keep the board flat in the water. As I pull myself up onto my knees, you'll see that I'm using my arms to push down on the nose of the board to keep it flat to the water. Even as I'm coming into a standing position, you'll see that I'm keeping my hands on the nose of the board to keep my body weight forwards to prevent the nose coming up too early. And it's only when you've got enough speed, and you can see here that now the board is completely planing on the top of the water. I've still got my body weight forwards at this stage, but now all I have to do is stand up. That shifts my body weight backwards and the foil can come up. So again, this is the same clip, but just being played through in its entirety at normal speed so you can see what I've been talking about. Always keeping my body weight forward. A good way to do that is keep your hands on the nose of the board. Once you've got your speed up, you can then come up and foil. This is a second clip. I'll do the same thing. Play it through all the way at normal speed, and then I'll take you through it in sections. It's a little bit of a faster, more fluid takeoff, this one. So the same principle occurs. I'm pulling myself up onto the front of the board as I start to accelerate. Bring my knees up, I'm still pushing down on the nose of the board. You can see clearly I've got my body weight forward. And as I'm beginning to stand up, again keeping my weight forwards to keep the nose down. If the tail sinks at this stage, then I'm just going to create drag and I won't get up on foil. So I'll just play the same clip one last time at full speed, and you'll see that the main objective here is to keep your body weight forward so that you're keeping the board flat on the water. If you don't do that, you'll never build up the speed that you need in order to get on foil. That's the key element in using a prone board with foil drive. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one of the most common mistakes in trying to get on foil on a prone board, and that is not building up the speed that you need in order to take off. So to show you in slow-mo, at this stage all I should be doing is just trying to build up my speed, trying to get the board planing across the surface of the water. But as you can see in a second, I haven't built up enough speed so that when I bring my knees up onto the board, I sink the tail, and now the board is travelling through the water at an angle rather than planing across the top of it, and all I'm doing now is pushing the board through the water, creating a huge amount of drag. This is the quickest way to drain your battery. Now for purposes of this video, I'm doing this super exaggerated so you can see what's going on. But in reality, you don't have to have the nose of the board angled up very much in order to create enough drag that will prevent you from getting on foil. And like I say, all you'll end up doing is draining the battery. Now, if you're doing all of that and you still can't get up on foil, it might be worth giving these two little technique tips a try, just to help build your speed up that little bit extra that you need to get to the point where you can get on foil. So I show you that in slow-mo. Here we go. I can feel that I'm not quite at enough of a speed to get on foil, so I give 3 really quick double-handed paddle strokes, and there I've just got myself up over that speed threshold that I can now do a pop-up and get myself up onto foil. There is another method, and that's instead of lying down, you can just bring yourself up onto your knees and then do the same double-handed paddle strokes. And it really is surprisingly effective at how it just gets you over that speed threshold, just builds your speed up enough, and you'll be able to feel the lift from the foil just beginning to engage or you can at least feel the board is now skimming across the top of the water, and that's the point that you need to be in order to then pop up or stand up and get yourself up onto foil. Okay, so in this final clip I'm going to demonstrate to you what will happen if you use a board that's too small, or low volume, or a foil that's too small in size, and the difference that board volume and board size can make in helping you get up on foil. Okay, so I'm furthest from screen on a whiteboard, and Trav is on a yellow board that's closest to the screen. My board is 4.8 by 37 litres, and Trav's board is 5.2 by 55 litres. We both weigh about the same, roughly 85 kilos with neoprene, and we've both gone down a size in foil since the previous clips. If you focus on me first, what you'll see is that no matter how hard I try, either with the prone double-handed paddle strokes or in a second with the kneeling double-handed paddle strokes, I just can't get the board speed up high enough to be able to get the board planing and therefore to get onto foil. It's a complete disaster. All I'm doing is just draining the battery. However, if we watch the same clip again, but this time focus on Trav on his yellow board, what you'll notice is that even despite trying to demonstrate poor technique by sinking the tail of the board, because his board is an extra 18 litres compared to mine, and that's the only difference between our setups, because of that extra size and literage of board, he's still able to get up on foil reasonably easy compared with me, which is a complete and utter failure on that smaller board. So if you're struggling to get on foil, my advice would be to choose either a slightly bigger foil or a slightly bigger board until you work out the technique that you need to get up on foil on such a small board. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is play the first clip at normal speed with captions so that you don't have to listen to me talking and hopefully you can concentrate on it. Okay, very best of luck.